Isatta Sisay, I would like you to join me on stage. Mrs. Isatta Sisay-Jalloh, please join me on stage. Mr. Jalloh himself, I would like him to join me. Please join me on stage. Ali Martin, please can you join me on stage? The MC for tonight, please join me on stage. Aisha, I want Aisha to join me on stage, please.
Aisha, come on.
And all the organizers for tonight, about the cancer health show, please join me tonight. The theme is life.
Life, yeah. Life. Aisha says, life, yeah. If you want success, it's not easy, yeah. You get for work from 7 to 5, just forget your daily bread, just to make you survive. Life, yeah. If you want success, it's not easy, yeah. You get for work from 7 to 5, just forget your daily bread, just to make you survive. Ta open it, There are funny things about life. Your hug should be sharper than knife. Believe in yourself and nature will provide, cause once I go this I must survive. There are funny things about life. Your hug should be sharper than knife. Believe in yourself and nature will provide, cause once I go this I must survive. Respect my hustle. Hey, my hustle. I go respect your hustle. My hustle. Life, yeah. If you want success, it's not easy, yeah. You get for work from 7 to 5, just forget your daily bread, just to make you survive. Life, yeah. If you want success, it's not easy, yeah. You get for work from 7 to 5, just forget your daily bread, just to make you survive. Ta open it, Life, yeah. Life not easy at all, oh, yeah. Mama dey vex, Papa no dey put up money. Life, yeah. Life not easy at all, oh, yeah. Mama dey vex, Papa no dey put up money. Respect my hustle. Hey, my hustle. I go respect your hustle. My hustle. Life, yeah. If you want success, it's not easy, yeah. You get for work from 7 to 5, just forget your daily bread, just to make you survive. Life, yeah. If you want success, it's not easy, yeah. You get for work from 7 to 5, just forget your daily bread, just to make you survive. Ta open
Tonight I want to say thank you to Mrs. Isatta Jalloh for organizing the show and raising awareness about cancer in our society. But before going further, doing this performance, I would like to invite some people on stage to join me. Mrs. Isatta Sisay, I would like you to join me on stage. Mrs. Isatta Sisay-Jalloh, Mr. Jalloh himself, I would like him to join me. Please join me on stage. Ali Martin, please can you join me on stage? The MC for tonight, please join me on stage. Aisha, I want Aisha to join me on stage, please.
Aisha, come on.
And all the organizers for tonight, about the cancer health show, please join me tonight. The theme is life.
Life, yeah. Life. Aisha want success, it's not easy, yeah. You get for work from 7 to 5, just forget your daily bread, just to make you survive. Life, yeah, life, yeah. If you want success, it's not easy, yeah. You get for work from 7 to 5, just forget your daily bread, just to make you survive. Ta open it, 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 ta open it. There are funny, funny things about life. Your hug, you should be sharper than knife. Believe in yourself and nature will provide, cause once I go this up I must survive. There are funny, funny things about life. Your hug, you should be sharper than knife. Believe in yourself and nature will provide, cause once I go this up I must survive. Respect my hustle. Hey, my hustle. I go respect your hustle. My hustle. Life, yeah, life, yeah. If you want success, it's not easy, yeah. You get for work from 7 to 5, just forget your daily bread, just to make you survive. Life, yeah, life, yeah. If you want success, it's not easy, yeah. You get for work from 7 to 5, just forget your daily bread, just to make you survive. Ta open it, 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 ta open it. Life, yeah. Life not easy at all, oh, yeah. Mama dey vex, Papa no dey put up money. Life, yeah. Life not easy at all, oh, yeah. Mama dey vex, Papa no dey put up money. Respect my hustle. Hey, my hustle. I go respect your hustle. My hustle. Life, yeah, life, yeah. If you want success, it's not easy, yeah. You get for work from 7 to 5, just forget your daily bread, just to make you survive. Life, yeah, life, yeah. If you want success, it's not easy, yeah. You get for work from 7 to 5, just forget your daily bread, just to make you survive. Ta open it, 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 ta open it.
Tonight, I want to say thank you to Mrs. Isatta Sisay-Jalloh for organizing the show and raising awareness about cancer in our society. But before going further, doing this performance, I would like to invite some people on stage to join me. Mrs. Isatta Sisay, I would like you to join me on stage. Mrs. Isatta Sisay-Jalloh. Mr. Jalloh himself, I would like him to join me. Please join me on stage. Ali Martin, please can you join me on stage? The MC for tonight, please join me on stage. Aisha. I want Aisha to join me on stage, please.
Aisha, come on.
And all the organizers for tonight, for the cancer, about the cancer health show, please join me tonight. The peace is life.
Life, 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 yeah. Life, life, I shall say, life, yeah. If you want success, it's not easy, yeah. You get for work from 7 to 5, just forget your daily bread, just to make you survive. Life, yeah, life, yeah. If you want success, it's not easy, yeah. You get for work from 7 to 5, just forget your daily bread, just to make you survive. Ta open it, 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 ta open it. There are funny, funny things about life. Your hug, you should be sharper than knife. Believe in yourself and nature will provide, cause once I go this up I must survive. There are funny, funny things about life. Your hug, you should be sharper than knife. Believe in yourself and nature will provide, cause once I go this up I must survive. Respect my hustle. Hey, my hustle. I go respect hustle. I hustle. Life, yeah. If you want success, it's not easy, yeah. You get for work from 7 to 5, just forget your daily bread, just to make you survive. Life, yeah. If you want success, it's not easy, yeah. You get for work from 7 to 5, just forget your daily bread, just to make you survive. Ta open it, ta open it, ta open it, oh, ta open it, ta open it, ta open it, ta open it, oh, ta open it. Life, yeah, life not easy at all, oh, yeah. Mama dey vex, Papa no dey put up money. Life, yeah, life not easy at all, oh, yeah. Mama dey vex, Papa no dey put up money. Respect my hustle, hey, my hustle. I go respect your hustle. I hustle. Life, yeah. If you want success, it's not easy, yeah. You get for work from 7 to 5, just forget your daily bread, just to make you survive. Life, yeah. If you want success, it's not easy, yeah. You get for work from 7 to 5, just forget your daily bread, just to make you survive. Ta open it, ta open it, ta open it, oh, ta open it, ta open it, ta open it, ta open it, oh, ta open it.
If you having credit problems, I feel bad for you, son. 1,000 problems, but a car rank 1. Wolves for sure got me back in the car. Leasing with my credit, I was like, oh man, forget it. Who would've thought I'd be accepted and more? But now I got the keys, I feel so pleased. All types of cars, Fiats, Minis, Renaults, you know, boom, boom, let's go. Wolves for sure, car leasing for every credit score.
Tramadol, not to food for it. Alcohol, not to juice. Diazepam, not for sleep. If Jamba no fit you, no smoke.
Exclusive from Benzo Entertainment.
See, I said I want a kind of black man. I said that them zone a shop man. Master planner, black man. I said a role model, black man. The man behind me success, so well if you see me at the project.
Man if you poor man, meet up then go fire. Games want to take. Man if you poor and poor meet up, oh then go burn poor. Only me na man swag. Only me swag. Only me na man swag.
Exclusive from Benzo Entertainment.
Say I done school, I know when they get you lunch.
The Lancashire Union UK, Look, proudly presents Just Dance. Look, Me, Are, Look, You, Volume 2. Saturday, 26th of October 2019 at JK Banquet Hall, Forest Hill, London, SE23 2NE. Doors open 8 PM. Fee £25 flat. Music by DJ Little & Co. Come and support Look for the betterment of the Lunsar community in the area of education, health, art and culture. For info, call 0783 765 6229
money with the one, I know them say. Me know they jump for me, oh no way. Papa just say, anytime I catch up now holiday, now holiday. So now forgive me the pay. I want enjoy me holiday. Alright, them Slim G, I leave your melody. I saw we hustling, body do no man on me. For the same money thing, but could them a funny me. But kind of one name, I saw them a calling me. So, the big up all the hustlers in the streets, where they find it difficult for getting for eat, yeah. Ain't not easy, some not even get sight for sleep. I can't what they say, fry you baba day. They said they go sabi usai the money day. Yeah, me not go the wrong way. I just believe, say me I must sabi day. Man them they are still lay, also got the paper. No the joke, no the bluff of the paper. I say we they are still lay, also got the money. Money make we draw the man turn. We wake up on me tax, sleep no day. How we dey hustle for the paper every day. Money rules the world, I saw them say. Me know they joke for me, oh no way. Papa just say, anytime I catch up now holiday, now holiday. So now forgive me the pay. I want enjoy me holiday, me holiday.
Awa ka soto gbenge tege awa ka gbab kalo mi lomi gbeng to wa te kele me yo ka uska de kele awa ka tori ne ke gbeng awa ma ma wona mi mo ke de mi to wa
what this world is turning to. Nobody said it. And I ask myself, now waiting this world it turns to. Nobody, cause picking the pizza in mama, not the respecting papa. I swear, because so many you chose to take tramadol instead of them take Panadol. It can make them fall, make them crawl. Yeah. So God, education don't fall. Tell me what's in the future for tomorrow, because when less of tomorrow, they don't evolve bad cooks. Lord save us. Oh yeah, making them go astray. Lord, this is my prayer. And Daddy, we dey beg you, save our motherland, Lord. We dey beg you, And Daddy, we dey beg you, save our motherland, Lord. We dey beg you, we dey pray every night and day.
Tell them say you there. Tell them say you there. Tell you never, tell them say you there. say you there. Yeah, we dey send them go down. 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 Tell them say you there. Tell them say you there. Tell you never, tell them say you there. Tell them say you there. We dey send them go down. Small, send them go down. Yeah, we dey send them go down. Small, we dey send them go down. Enjoyment there. Look, mommy Talabi and Pape Charlie. Hey, Oju, see Bondu Odu, and man Odu. Team day for you. Man they ask if na bad I do. No too bad I do. Tell them say you there. Tell you never, tell them say you there. Tell you never, tell them say you there. Tell them say you there. Yeah, we dey send them go down. Tell them, we dey send them go down. Yeah, we dey send them go down. Tell them, we dey send them go down.
And the sound sensation come from the nation.
Man they dey papilo, do the dancing and they go down low. All man don chatty, baby they broky, yeah. I look in there, stab the again, give me stout day. Music set there, they go make you enjoy the music, tell you no.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening to me mama and me papa them, my brothers and sisters, kids. Oh my god, let me take this off. You can see my busy life. I'm jumping from one place to another. Let me this is my PTA business. My parents teacher association business. That was that hat. So now I'm here. This is Isatta Sisay-Jalloh with the Health Show, bringing you today another live and interesting topic. I know the title of the topic, some people got it right, and some people are thinking, oh, what is she going to talk about again today? Put your house in order. It doesn't literally mean what it says, but in other ways, it's about putting your house in order. It's not about how your husband deals with the wife, or how the wife deals with the husband, or how the family deals, blah, blah, blah. No, it's got nothing to do with that. It's all about putting things in place so when things go wrong, you have backup plan. You basically have a plan B. That's what today the title is all about. It's about putting your house in order. Because I think when we have a phone, we take insurance out against theft, against damages. So those are some of the things we're going to talk about. How do we take insurance on ourselves? How do we support ourselves? How do we protect ourselves? And how do we protect our loved ones? Now, there's a lot to do with legal issues and insurance and everything else that I'll be talking about. I just want to make it perfectly clear that I am not a lawyer, neither am I a barrister. I am not a social worker who might know a bit more about these affairs. However, I think I'm quite educated and well placed to be able to read well and understand the contents of some of this information, and be able to have the ability to regurgitate it to you, our people, my people in the diaspora and in Sierra Leone and across everywhere, in a very simple and common language terminology, which makes it a little bit more easier in terms of understanding. So please, today would be one of the days where you see me put my head down, because I need to read a little bit, because I don't want to get it wrong. Because like I said, what we're going to talk about has a lot to do with legal issues and everything. So please just bear that in mind. And if you are a professional, if you're a lawyer, a barrister, a social worker, or any other professional that is involved in some of the things that I'm going to be talking about today, please feel free to join in. Please feel free to call. The number is on the screen. Please, it is 07946 141 369. Please join in. Please put your own 1 cent or 2 cents towards this information, because it's all about us talking, learning from one another, and then sharing the information across the board. So this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. It's all about raising awareness, promoting health and well-being, so that we develop a better and informed community, so we know our rights, so we know what we can and cannot do, and what we should be doing, and how we can protect our children, our family, and our loved ones. So please, thank you so much for joining in. Thank you everyone that is in at the moment. So, putting your house in order. I think over the past few days I've been kind of posting the flyer and then attaching it to biblical quotations and Quranic quotations, because interestingly, when I was doing my research, I found out that the phrase "put your house in order" actually goes as far as in the biblical language and as far as in the Quranic language as well. So that was very intriguing and interesting, and so I felt compelled to post it out there, and also to kind of reach out to people and say, listen, there's a link here. A lot of what we talk about is not rubbish. It's actually, there's a link. If you're a religious person, you can link it and connect to it that way. So we're talking about putting your house in order. What does it mean? Well, for me, it's about, today I want you to have a little bit of understanding about what a next of kin is, what a lasting power of attorney is, what is legal guardianship, what is life insurance all about to some extent, what critical illness is all about. some of the challenges, some of the questions that people might have regarding these insurance policies, and also what a will is all about, you know. So those are the kind of things we're going to be talking about today. So again, please feel free to get involved, and let's take it forward. So if we start off first with next of kin, a lot of us use this word very carelessly. We say next of kin. Oh, this is my next of kin. This is my next of kin. So do you actually understand the meaning of next of kin to some extent? So from a legal perspective, a next of kin refers to a person closest living blood relative of yours. So your relative that is closest to you in terms of bloodline that is alive. And that relationship from a legal point of view is what determines things like inheritance rights, and also if a person dies without a will and they have no spouse or children. So that's where a next of kin comes in. Now this is for the UK, but for the United States, again, when I did my little bit of research, it says your next of kin are the people who will inherit your estate. So there's quite a lot of similarities there. If you die without a will, you're considered to have died intestate, which means you technically, all your belongings belongs to the state. So typically your spouse and your children will serve as your next of kin. However, if you don't have a spouse, and also what we mean by spouse, not all you partner where you're into the share house, no. It's not your common law partner, it's your marital partner. That's what they mean by spouse. So your husband or wife. So that person you're legally married to, either as a civil marriage or as a religious marriage. So that person you're legally married, the marriage is acknowledged and respected by the state that you live in. So for example, in UK here, there are some churches you can go and get married in. Then they don't have the license to legal marriage. So you can marry, you can have your blessings, but you still need to go and have your civil marriage, which you get at the registry. Or the same goes for some mosques as well. However, a lot of these religious places and also all these wedding venues, they do apply for the license. And so when you're looking into getting married and make sure you want it to have a legal value, it's always important to find out from the venue. The first thing you have to find out from where the ceremony is going to be, or whether it's a religious wedding, is to find out whether they're licensed to get married, to marry people. That's very, very important. And so that's the USA definition of a next of kin, which is not far off from the UK one. And then people say, oh, but why make me next of kin? Why they now speak to the doctor and no one talk to him? Well, this is where I want to come. So the difference between a next of kin and other legal things that we'll talk about, the next of kin is not legal in terms of decision making. They are not, when you appoint somebody as a next of kin, anybody you can appoint as the next of kin, by the way. You can meet Pitana Street, you say Pitana and I'm next of kin. As long as you've put their name down and contact, they will consult Peter. But for example, if I give you an example, if let's say you unconscious, motoka bang you unconscious, they don't take you in a hospital. Then go contact your next of kin for make them know what not happen to you, and also for make them know waiting they go on, and also then go take advice from them in terms of waiting your wishes might be, but waiting the next of kin not able for do is they're not able for consent to or refuse any treatment on your behalf. So let's say for example you unconscious and you go into coma, let's say more severe, then can you go into intensive care, then put you on life support machine. The next of kin does not have the right to say yes or no to switch in off that machine. They don't have the right. They don't have the legal right. You know, your next of kin can go register you death if you die. Your next of kin go arrange your funeral if you die. However, your next of kin cannot make medical legal decisions on your behalf. So it's very, very important to know that, you know. That is why other things, you need to put other things in place, so to minimize complications, because it's not just about you. I mean, when we're talking here, we're talking about serious illnesses as well as death. Now, one thing that is certain for all of us, whether we like it or not, whether we wish for it to be longer and longer and longer and far, far away, is death. And it's very, very unpredictable. You cannot tell if you're going to die today or tomorrow, except sometimes with some ill health, on some diseases to some extent. You might be aware that, oh, well, you know, in the next few weeks I might die, or in the next few months, or in the next few years. But in knowing the actual day when you're going to die, so that's very, very impossible. That's how long is a piece of string. And nobody has that crystal ball to be able to say that. However, if you put things in place, if anything happens to you or your loved one or your family, they will be able to cope a bit better. Because we all know when there's a death in a family, especially for us the women, I'm talking about us the women and the mothers, or women who have dependents, like you're a young person or you're middle-aged and your mother is your dependent. They rely on you financially, physically, and everything. So imagine if you just go out and you walk out on the streets and one crazy motorist who is not looking where they're going, they hit you and you die. Just step back and think. If you don't have anything in place, on top of that shock of sudden and unexpected death that your children or your spouse or your parents or your friends will be going through, on top of that, all the other stress they might then start thinking about, which will make it even more overwhelming, such as, oh, costs for funeral. Oh, who is going to take care of this child now? You've left on the 16th. Who are going to take care of them? Oh, as we all know, there's so many single parents around, and so many single parents who there is no decent or amicable relationship between the father and the mother. And then all of a sudden, you, the mother, who has the sole responsibility of the child, you drop down dead. And then for the last 10 years, the father, who has been trying so hard to have access to that child's life, you've deliberately deterred them from it. And then now all of a sudden you drop dead. Now, who do you think is going to have rights to those children? Who do you think? So it's about putting plans in place for your do's and your don'ts, and for your wants and your want nots. So that's very, very important. Very, very important for you to think about that, because a lot of people misconstrue this and think, oh, well, if I've got a next of kin, then a next of kin will be able to do everything. Or, you know, in our community, you can hear people that they say, Ibo, I think me not next of kin, I get rights to everything. Nope. They don't have right to nothing if they're not on legal documentation. So be very, very wary of that. Now, when we come back to the health matters, health and social welfare matters, when you're in that situation where you're incapacitated, wherein, for example, you've lost your mental capacity because you're unconscious, or because, let's say, you've got mental health issues, you don't deem to be seen fit to make decisions, you cannot retain information, you've got diseases such as Alzheimer's and dementia, which is a form of Alzheimer's, all those kind of diseases, then you need somebody to be acting on your behalf. You need someone to be able to go to the bank for you. You need someone If you're someone who has got a mortgage, you need someone who would continue to pay your mortgage, because all of a sudden you can't go to the bank and you're somebody who is used to issuing check. You can't write a check, or you can't even go to the cash machine to get money out for your food shopping. Now all of a sudden you need somebody to do that. Now what you and I do all the time, but we take it for granted and we don't realize we're breaking the law all the time, is using somebody else's bank card that is not in your name to go and withdraw money. We all do it. I do it. I use my husband's card and I go. However, that could be considered fraud. That could be considered theft. It's fairly common. We all do it, but from a legal perspective, if it's taken seriously, it can be taken seriously. Now, it's okay for you and I to be doing it when it's just, we want to go take £10, we want to go take £20, we want to go take £50. However, when it comes to serious matter, we have to start thinking about that. So on that, so it's very, very important. So that is why if I flip down the Pancreo, where you get a next of kin not to a legal entity. Somebody can be your next of kin. Anybody can be your next of kin when it comes to health and welfare related matters. However, when it comes to decision making, they are unable to make decision on your behalf. They cannot make decision on your behalf. So next of kin, where it can pan you property if you die in terms of inheritance, yes, your next of kin na somebody where now your closest blood relation. And so if you can't, let's say if you die, you not left will, after you spouse and you picking them, then go down the family tree for see who that the person where they alive, where you most closest to. So if you not somebody where you not get spouse and you not get picking them, but your mama they alive, your mama nine will be next of kin in terms of inheritance point. So now we go move on to the other part where I will talk about, say where we all need. Now one thing where I want to let everybody be aware of is a lot of these things we not supposed for do and where we sick. We supposed for do and where we they well and alive. Because when you do them things there where you well and alive, you not get sick, you do them properly and you do them to the best of your ability. You know they feel under pressure or anything. But when you left them till last minute where now sickness they force you for do them, then sometimes it's not always the right decision, or not. They always make the right choice. So if we go on to power of attorney, sometimes again they call it lasting power of attorney. So power of attorney, now there you get legality. So like I said earlier on, next of kin from a legality point of view, when it comes to your health and well-being issues or social welfare issues or financial issues, it doesn't stand grounds. But power of attorney is what stands a ground. And that is a legal process wherein you just appoint somebody for act on your behalf to make decisions about your care and or your finances. So they can make decision about providing or withholding treatments or care. They can usually make, like for example, if you sick, you then a hospital and then the hospital say, oh, this person you're not well enough for going to house, but we think say nursing home and are the best place for them. That power of attorney, they get the right and responsibility for discuss that with your consultant or the person where the service provider, then get right for say, okay, well, this is fine, I agree to this decision. Then now get right for go and look around for search for the best nursing home for you, for make you go there. So that is the importance of power of attorney. However, going back to a next of kin go listen, then go tell her waiting for do. Yes, instead can still able go look nursing home them. But when it comes to actually decision making in terms of yay or nay, yes or no, it not get much right there. So if you as the person you're no longer able to make decisions about yourself, then legally now this lasting power of attorney or power of attorney now in get rights for make decisions. And because it's it's recognized legally, it means you get for apply for them. Let me just check if I get any messages. Hello everyone, welcome. Welcome Auntie Mary, welcome Auntie Susan, welcome my brother Sajaliu, Ramatu Sharif, Neem Morano, Memuna Muna, Zaina Bangura. Thank you so much, Usman Conte. Welcome. I can see lots of young parents then, and I think this is for us. This is for us. We have to bear this in mind, because sometimes we think, oh, well, my wife go deal with them, or oh, my husband go deal with them. But think about and imagine that burden where they put on that person day at difficult situations, at really distressing times in their life, where you sometimes if you sick, you're unconscious, you know they think, you don't know what they go on, you're really unaware of what they go on, you don't left that burden of decision. And then of course, being the fact that we come from big families, polygamous families, the complexity of the pressure, you know, you go get your family, they put pressure on that person there, and then, you know, in terms of everybody go get your opinion. We know that is what happens. So how do you protect your loved ones? This is what we're talking about. How do you protect them? So this lasting power of attorney, again, now somebody where you can appoint anybody as long as they're age 18 and above. And for we will live now in the UK, I can only speak for the UK, they don't have to be a British citizen, by the way. Your lasting power of attorney or power of attorney does not have to be a British citizen. They can be of any nationality. The most important thing is you've done that legal document and you've put it through the process it's supposed to go through, and you've made it formal and legal. So there are two types, like I said, there are two types of power of attorney or lasting power of attorney. It's the same thing. If you Google now, the same thing. It's just that over the years the names change again depending on the country where you're and all of that. So you get you can apply for either health and welfare, property and financial affairs, or you can apply for both. You either apply for one or you apply for both. Most times in my job, we advise people for apply for both, especially where there's a lot of financial implications. It's very important for somebody to get access to financial and property level, as well as your health and welfare. For example, if I give you an example of property, if you then have social housing, for example, as in council flat, then something happened to you, you're not able to go pay your rent, you're not able to go do stuff, all of a sudden the housing officer wants to talk to you, but you're not able to talk. That person, they can able to step in and be your representative and deal with your affairs. Go na your bank, show them that legal document, say, hey, I'm this person's power of attorney, so I get rights for can withdraw X amount of money because I go do X amount of thing. But one of the things I have to remind you, you all make sure that person or persons, because you can appoint more than one person, and most people tend to do that because just in case, that person has to be 100% in integrity and honesty. Because imagine say you they give this person an open season to you personal affairs, to you financial affairs, to you property affairs, and even your life sometimes dependent on this person. So like I said earlier on, if you're on life support, this person a person where say go ask the right questions, go challenge the medical team, go make the decision based on facts rather than just saying, oh yeah, well they don't say so now so for do a law carrier. No, make your own decision based on facts, and the only way they're able to do that is ask the right questions and challenge and do research. So that's very important where they pick somebody. Very important for know that. So this power of attorney, just like waiting and say, it's like you they use them for give somebody power for make decisions on your behalf. and that can be for daily routine. Like, for example, this person, if you didn't know him, this person go say, well, I want to know this person 5 times, as in every day. And then if the carers then say, oh no, well, this person say, you say, no, me know this person, I know say na person way believe in cleanliness, then I want. Or for example, somebody when a Muslim, you know, some then can say when you sick or you die, if I let you face the Kaaba, you know, you now one person wake able go na that nursing home day. If they don't use for put the head side them to the east and then the Kaaba that the west, you they able go tell them say, I need this bed turned and repositioned. You have the right to do that. So it's very important to remember. They might be simple little things, but they're very important and relevant things, them, especially to that person. So now I will keep reminding people, the person who you're going to appoint as your power of attorney, as somebody who will know you very well, in understand what you stand for, your beliefs and everything, and also you know somebody who you self for know very well. You know say it get integrity, you know say it get respect, and you know say it capable for make decisions on your behalf, because it get for need for make decisions on your medical care, like I say, and all other issues them. And so it's very, very important. But this only they happen where you not able to make decision for yourself. So you can appoint a power of attorney that go there for 20 years and not get no use, because you okay, you pass, you fine. However, it just needs that one incident for let you lose your capacity, and then you need that person there for be at you beck and call, so that they can be there for you. So health and welfare, like I say, you can take that separately, or you can take them both with property and financial affairs. Now, property and financial affairs, of course, like I say earlier on, now for deal with like dealing with your bank or bank accounts or any financial things, paying your bills, collecting benefits or your pension, and even selling your home. If you need for sell your home for raise more funds, the power of attorney will be able to do that for you on your behalf, you know. So it's very, very important. So these are is a legal document, so you have to apply for it. You have to get the form, fill it in, and apply for it through the Office of the Public Guardian. In the UK, that's how we call it. The office is part of the courts, but that section is called the Office of the Public Guardian. For just apply for one, for example, if you just want to apply for health and welfare, currently it costs £82. So not much, really, really not much. We they buy pairs of shoes and dresses, way more than that. So it's not much. But if you want for apply for all two of it, when are the health and welfare, financial and property affairs, all things will come up to £164, because they're both separate. Some people then they can take them separately, some people then they take them joint. But I feel say it's very important you take it jointly. So be very, very mindful of that. So that is the reason why. Let me just check if there's any comments. Yes, Auntie Marie, genuine, honest, and upright person. Yep, yes, this financial abuse. Oh yes. Yes, it can be given. Yeah, you can appoint anybody to be a power of attorney. Sometimes, to be honest with you, I think it's sometimes even better to identify someone who is not family, especially for we come on a big family that where they will think saying a favoritism, or it becomes an issue, trust issue, and all of that. So sometimes it's actually better to get someone who is fairly independent, who is not, you know, who is withdrawn from whatever is going on in our complex family dynamics sometimes. So we now move on to another bit, which is to do with children. Now, primarily, but also it can be related to adults as well. So legal guardianship. Now, the reason why I talk about legal guardianship, because like I said earlier on, we have a lot of single parents in our community. A lot of single parents. Some papa involved, some papa not involved, some mama involved, some mama not involved, or some papa no dey self will not know but some mama no dey will not know but Now, those people need legal guardianship. If anything, you when are the parent where they provide sole responsibility and care for that pikin day. If something happened to you, what happens to that child? What happens? We've heard of instances and situations where something will happen to a person because all in blood relatives they're not there. Now this country, then they've thousands and thousands of miles away, and sometimes they're not even able to get the opportunity for Kanaya. Then begin and then they end up na care. Then they end up na foster care, and then people can say, "Hey, but I go take the pikin." No, you have no right. You have no right. That person they not give you right. That person they not entrust you for look after that pikin day. So the law cannot give it to you. The states cannot give it to you. So that is the problem. So what is a legal guardian? A legal guardian na person where they get legal authority and duty for care for a personal and property interest of another person. Sometimes they call them a ward. So you use them in three situations. You use guardianship in three situations. So you use guardianship in incapacitated seniors. For example, you get you mama or you papa or you auntie, we're old and frail and get dementia and all of that. You can be appointed as a legal guardian for that person. You can be appointed for guardianship for a minor, a 16 and below. And you can also be a guardianship for children or adults with disability. So those are the three types of guardianship that you can apply for. And then if when they don't make you that legal guardian, you have responsibility for the well-being and safety of them picking, and I'm going to focus on children more. You have sole responsibility, and this includes everything: feeding them, clothing them, make sure they go to school, attending school appointments, PTA evenings, you name it, everything, taking them to hospital, everything. You become the guardian of that picking day. You pretty much like second-hand parent. So that's very, very important. You're going to make decisions on behalf of that Pekin day, and you should be able to teach that Pekin right and wrong and raise them properly, supervise them until they get to adulthood or until that legal guardianship ceases to be legal. So it's very, very important. And again, now we country in the UK, to become a legal guardian is a very rigorous process because, like I said earlier on, I'm not a social worker, so if there's any social workers involved and they want to add one or two, please feel free. But they have to be involved. They are the drivers of it all. They have to assess that person, just pretty much like where you go for becoming a foster parent, or where you go for be registered as a prospective adoptive parent. The scrutiny and screenings and assessment where you go through, it's very, very, very important. So they will do that because, again, that has to go through the family courts proceedings as well. So they are the sole drivers there. So always look at them as very key players in all of these things. They are not bad people. Social workers are not bad people. I know a lot of people have this thing about social workers, say, oh, well, especially when it comes to children, that they can't take you picking them away from you. No, they will always try and safeguard. It's all about safeguarding. If you say the picking better placed with you, then they will do everything to support you for that picking the day with you. But if they think say it's not appropriate, they would look at other options, but at the same time work with you. So it's very important for our social services professionals, let them wait himself to that. So that's what a lasting power of attorney is all about. And of course, your rights as a guardian, you'll be issued with custody of that child in accordance with the wishes of the parents and the findings of social services. You have as much right as a parent would have to that child, and etc., etc. So now we dey go to another thing where I feel say as parents or as individuals we should have, as long as you're an adult, you should have it. And as long as you've got a family, you should have it, or you should try and have it, because all these things we're talking about, not to really boku money, to be honest with you, we dey buy clothes them £200. We dey buy shoes them £200. We dey buy handbag them £200, both male and female. So most of these things, to put them in place, it will cost you less than £100 a month or so. So why don't we put these things in place? We ready for spend so much on things that they give we instant gratification. However, we're not ready for spend on things them way they build up, and the outcome in the future would be very positive and a productive one. So let's think about that. So critical illness. What is critical illness policy? A lot of people sometimes confuse critical illness with life insurance. Now I'm going to talk about critical illness before I go on and talk about life insurance. Somebody, Zainab, has mentioned advance directive. Yes, Zainab, I will get to that when I get to the will side, because I think it's very, very important. I just want people to know these are some of the things they should be thinking about, but also putting in action, because it's very, very important. All man feel say, you know, they sick. All man feel say, now the next person they sick, now the neighbor go sick, now the party go sick, now the man go sick. Not to me I not go sick. Me, I they do all you are supposed to do, so why I go sick? Do ya? I they do this, I they do this, I they do that. Yeah? Those things will try and prevent diseases. However, some illnesses can be quite sudden and unexpected. So it's very, very important to prepare yourself for that. And some of those conditions that can be very sudden and unexpected, wherein it's, if you have a critical illness policy, it might make a little bit of difference. This is no way an exhaustion of the list. Just a few examples and where everybody familiar with. For example, dementia. Dementia is considered one of the critical illnesses. Blindness is considered one of the critical illnesses. Multiple sclerosis, stroke, heart attack is considered, and many, of course, many types of cancers are considered critical illness. And kidney or heart failure or liver failure, they're all considered critical illness. And the reason why this is important, because for me, doing my research, one of the researches that I done, and most of you know, say me bread and butter na cancer. Cancer Research UK, the research will come out recently is like every 2 minutes someone is diagnosed with cancer, or they have a heart attack, or every 5 minutes someone suffers a stroke. And 25% of these victims are under 60. So we get this habit, say, me are too young for die. Waiting at the thing. Do ya? Me not ready yet for die. You might not be ready to die, but you know, if God already mark you time, and indeed, He don't mark me and you with time. So it's just a matter of time. So it's always important for put some of them things there in place. Not a way it don't happen, then you think, oh, if I be no. You know, but it's very, very surprising. A lot of us think, oh, waiting at the thing, I still there in me prime, I still there in me 30s, waiting at the thing, please, no can't talk. And a lot of people also will be saying, why Isatta they talk about them things here? This is so boring, it's not fun. Not to for go nightclub, for go dance, this not to for go talk about waiting they happen at the community way negative, or not to for listen to cost them or whatever, because it's not something you're getting instant gratification from. But actually, this is very, very important. For every 1 minute you spend on instant gratification, you better off for spend 5 minutes reading about legal guardianship, reading about critical illness, reading about next of kin, knowing what your rights are, knowing what you can and cannot do. Trust me, the outcome will be better than that instant gratification where you get. Of course, we know say there's challenges, and when I talk about life insurance as well, life insurance is something that is very, very complicated and complex. Again, I am not a specialist in that, so I'm not even trying for going to them. But these are things that are important. Life insurance is something they pay out on your death. However, It depends on the type of life insurance. And believe you me, I am going to use myself as an example. Whilst I was doing this research, one of the things that really caught my eye is that I'm going to read this for you. It says there are two main types of life insurance. And they're called term life and whole life. Term life and whole life. Now, the primary difference between whole life and term insurance is the duration of the policy. Now, what did I discover whilst I'm doing this? That actually I thought, when I've read, I said, wait, Bala, go check my own life insurance. I had a rude awakening. And so I tell Papa God, thank you for where he prompts me and he push me for doing kind of things there. It's not just benefiting you as a community, but it's also benefiting me. Because waiting I discovered the last few days is actually my life insurance that I've had for the last 15 years is term life policy. It is not whole life policy. So a whole life policy ends when you die. So basically, if you take an insurance when a whole life policy, it means when you die that they pay you a lump sum. However, a term life insurance policy lasts for a predetermined period of time. Now, when I check me life insurance, I actually find out, say, now term insurance I get, term life insurance, where they end when I turn 70. Now, what if I die when I'm 70 plus? So that means this insurance, why don't they pay into all these 15 years? Can you believe it? Can you imagine? You know, I will not have nothing. And this me, they go and pass and happily, confidently, they say, oh, I get life insurance, I get life insurance. So my brothers and sisters, this is one of the reasons why I'm doing these things. And if I hadn't done this thing, to be honest with you, myself not for don't pick on that little simple technicality. Because sometimes some of these insurance brokers or some of these insurance sellers, they're only focused on numbers, getting the numbers, because they work on commission and all of that. So they're not take the time for really explain to you the pros and the cons and the little technical things that are relevant and are important. So me and the beg una do ya, make we look into them kind of things there. And make sure, say, we wait inside, because this, what this has prompted me to do is, in the next few days now, they call me insurance policy and ask them, say, but wait, I just noticed, say, this me insurance here, they end when I'm 70. That means it's not that they pay me any lump sum when I turn 70, you know, they won't pay me any lump sum. I think there's another type of insurance policy that they'll pay you a lump sum after a certain time. But I didn't read too much into that. But I think it's very, very important for make we know that. But even though it gets in challenges, because I think some people go say, oh, where I take this insurance, they not be telling me this, they not be telling me that. As you see, I call them now for claim, they begin draw. There's a lot of evidence that says 90% of insurance claims are acknowledged, which means they are honored. Now, usai we can get them wrong. Again, sometimes it's dependent on the insurance broker. Is your disclosure. Life insurance is just like where you take car insurance. If you take car insurance, where they take the insurance, then they ask you, say, do you use your car for business or pleasure? Then you tell them, say, I use it for pleasure. But then you not DJ Little, where they use the motor car for business and pleasure. But DJ Little don't claim, say, now pleasure no more in they use the motor car for. But then he fail for realize, say, if they use the motor car, if they put in speaker them, in music set them inside there, and travel for go play an event. So technically, he has used his car for business. So now say, God forbid, when he don't load that motor car with his speaker them and all in fanciful equipment them, if they go now for go play, now I think then somebody hit him And of course, not when they at fault self. This now, even when not when they, let's say somebody hit her from the back, where we know say where somebody hit you from the back, now then they at fault. That is a done deal with car insurance. However, then little your motor car now done totally damage where the insurance don't consider say this now write off. It go what we while we rather we fix this law pay off. Law value the motor car. Now for them for release that the money, they begin do the investigation. Then they begin find out little in statements where go down give them where call for report the incident. Little go down genuinely and honestly say to them, oh, I was on my way to go play at a function, blah blah blah, blah blah blah, and they're like, you were on your way to go play at the function? You say yes. Are you a DJ? Yes. Oh well, we're sorry, we're not gonna pay you any insurance claim. Why? Why are you not gonna play? It's my car. Oh no, but you never declared that you use your car for the purposes of business. So you see the small technicalities working their parents in there. So we got to be very, very mindful. It's the same. And the reason why I make I draw our attention to this with regards to disclosure, a lot of people, they take life insurance or critical illness insurance, especially critical illness, because that's where it becomes an issue where you then fall sick, then they no agree pay you, then people say, oh, but they never pay us. Because even when I posted it the other day, people made comments about that. Now, simple, you need to disclose. By what I mean disclosure, if you're not possible where they get migraine safe, where you they apply for that critical illness, you foretell them say, I they suffer from migraine. If you're not possible where get sickle cell, you foretell them say, I they suffer from sickle cell. If you're not possible where get HIV, even if the HIV not active, it's under control with your antiretrovirus, you foretell them say, I've got a diagnosis of HIV. If you're not possible where get diabetes, you foretell them. But if you not tell them say you get diabetes, then you then you can't get, let's say, heart attack. The first thing when they say, oh, but you know me tell you say you get diabetes, oh, and the diabetes can lead to complications which can then lead to heart attack. So you see, outside people then can get them wrong. You see, outside it can become a situation and issue for people. So let's be very, very mindful. And because of that, what that leads to, make sure you get your regular medical checkup, especially when we're in the diaspora. We people them back home, a lot of them don't get that opportunity there. But we were then at the diaspora, we get that opportunity, we get that facility there. Let us go do our medical checks. Go do regular medical checks. And whatever is in that medical record, where you want for apply for a life insurance or critical illness, make sure it mirrors what is on your medical record. Because when you see you sick and you take that phone, you phone the claim department, the first thing whether they do now for ask for your medical records. What betide you, what you don't write, what you declare to them is different from waiting then your medical records. You are in big trouble. So a man go say, oh, but the time I be take the critical illness insurance, that's when they not be done diagnose me with diabetes. Or they not be done diagnose me with crocro. When they diagnose you, call them and say, you know what? I need to update my policy. I need to update my policy. Why do you need to update? Well, I've just been diagnosed of this. Well, I had to go for these tests. Blah, blah, blah. So it's very, very important you do that. And also reading the small prints. Reading, like me, like I say, myself, this, I don't pick on something. This is not even a small print, oh. It's their massive one, insurance policy. But did I have the understanding of it? No. I did not understand. All the brokers said to me, oh, you get paid this amount when you die. Now, none of them want me then on my head. But what I never realized was actually my own type of life insurance wouldn't give me. It actually gets a cut-off period. So if I not die before I 70, then a buff case. So if I die after 70, let's say I die 71 upwards, me they go and pass and assume dilly-dally say I get life insurance, then it go left for me pikin there, it go left for me mama, it go left for me brother, it go left for me man, whosoever I don't choose for Gida award that insurance policy there too. So we have to be very, very mindful of that. you know. So, and some of the key things we have to think about, you know, is things like life insurance. It doesn't really, people tend to think, oh, they compare it to money. It's not about money, but also it's about thinking what difference it will make, especially for somebody you will get young picking them, especially for somebody where if you picking and still there at a university age, especially for person where you mama then still there alive. What difference, especially for you we get mortgage. I mean, in this country anyway, as long as you've got mortgage, you have to have a life insurance, and most times they force you to have a critical illness insurance as well. So it's very, very important for you to have that in an. It's a legal document. It's a contract that you sign, and the primary players in it is yourself, the life insurance policy people, the beneficiary, and the owner. So it's very, very important to remember that. And also for remember, say, life insurance and critical illness, it's a risk assessment thing. It's not something that is fact. It's just on a probability. When they calculate these things, they say there's a probability. So then do research, they realize, say, you know, like waiting this me insurance company do me so. They know for say people that they live longer nowadays. Now for the last 15 years, they eat me money. Because then kind of they bet on the gamble, say, I will not die before I'm 70. So that means that gamble, they gamble on that probability, then go eat me money, tell what 70, then after 70, I turn around and say, where me money, they say, well, you don't pass 70. So your insurance now don't cancel, because you don't come to end of time. So therefore, my brothers and sisters, let's think about it. Let's talk a bit more and think. So petty traders or small businesses, yeah, we all have to have these things, because otherwise when we do die or something happens to us, it becomes a burden on the people we leave behind. It creates family frictions. It creates a lot of issues because people don't know what to do, how to do it, and how not to do it. The last thing I'll talk about is a will. Now, all of these things we don't talk about are things that you can put in your will, because a will is a document that sets forth your wishes regarding the distribution of your property, your wealth, and the care of your minor children, the way they're underage. So if you're not somebody where they apply for legal guardianship, you don't get them, you don't put them, sometimes the person don't know self, or most times they need to know anyway. Definitely they need to know. You they put down the all you will. So when I read your last will and testament, you go down put and say, well, I get this life insurance. This life insurance, now so people that are the beneficiary. However, as the people that are the beneficiary, they're minor, the legal guardian, when a so person, now go take charge. Or actually, because me picking and still na minor, rather than this life insurance, they give the legal guardian wait on them when I don't die. It will be good person to me and me picking. They can't turn now. It can't be the wicked witch of the west. Then they put this money in a trust fund. That insurance where they cash them out. Nobody know for touch them. If they go to a trust fund until me picking their age 18 or 25 or whatever. Or they can use them for paying a school fee, or they can use them towards the maintenance whether they're in a university or anything. So that's the importance of a will. It is very, very important. And it varies in their effectiveness, and people can challenge a will if they feel say the time way you make the will you were influenced or coerced by people. And that is why when you're making a will, it has to be witnessed. It has to be witnessed, and legality has to be involved in it. A solicitor or lawyer has to be involved in it to minimize any issues on the point after the point where you die. So key points for think about a will is, if you fail for prepare a will, this typically leaves the decision about your wealth or your estates, and you picking them, it leaves the decision to the hands of the judges, especially in situations where you're not single parents. So the judges or the state officials or social services especially when you're not single parent. There's going to be a little bit of challenge there for any of your other family members to step in and take over those children, you know. And you can prepare a valid will yourself, but the document has to be witnessed. So not a Boku protocol. People always think they put these things off because they think, oh, it's too tedious, this and that. Even if you don't know, they say, oh, what if I gentry tomorrow win the lottery? Yeah, you can say that you will. Isatta Sisay-Jalloh, on the 26th of September 2019, I get 10 karat gold, I get 15 karat diamond, I get 1 motor car, I get 5 house, I get 4 land them, the land and there, and then so then in there, I want for appoint executors them when I then go shape them in there for me picking them. This house, I want let them get to this picking. This land, I want let them get to this me party, this one, and any other property where I accumulate after I write this will, then I need them for do X, Y, and Z with them. So you always have room for cover for contingency. So it's very, very important. And also it's very important because of that, it is always good for review your will every few years and make changes, adapt, and wait you want. Otherwise, the last will and testament will always be what they'll recognize and everything. So always consider that. So my brothers and sisters, I think that is the end of what I want to talk about today. I know somebody mentioned, Zainab, you mentioned something about advanced care planning. Advanced care planning is primarily to do with your advanced care wishes in terms of your health, your well-being, and your death. Yes, you can put that as well in your will. You can put your advanced care planning in your will, wherein you can say, when I die, this is what I want to be done with me. When I die, this is what I will do, etc., etc. Some of us will live by that. My father died over 20 years ago, and he had a will. And believe you me, we go by that will, because that is what he wanted us to do. So all 10 of us go by that will, and so does our executors, so does our lawyers, and all of that. So it's very, very important for us to put these things in place, especially in our community where there's interracial marriages. There is marriages where you don't get picking them before, me don't get picking them before. They will come meet up until we born picking them, or we meet up, we not born picking them. So all of that, it's all about protecting everybody. It's about protecting our loved ones and family around us. So I go left Naya and not much, because as I see, people made comments, people listened, but they haven't really called or asked many questions. I guess because, like I said, I know it's a boring topic to talk about, and nobody wants to talk about it because it reminds them of the inevitable, which is death, or it reminds them that nobody is protected from being suddenly unwell. We don't recently in our community, a lot of people have become unwell just suddenly. A lot of people have died just suddenly. Now ask yourself, think of their situations, look into their situations. We hear all sorts of stories from some of these deaths. Sometimes even for bury the person, they need for collect the money before they're able to bury the person. So ask yourself, is this what I would want for myself? Or is this what I want for my loved one? So prompt one another. If you're living with someone, boyfriend, girlfriend, partner, spouse, prompt them. Honey, darling, let's do this. Let's try and do that. Let's try and do that. It's very important. It not means that because you ask somebody, say, oh, you don't write your will, that means you want kill them all, because you can get her back. So some Monday where you ask her, say, you don't write your will, now kill you, want kill me now, or if you say they die now, no. So don't do that. I like that. Farella said, that's sweetheart picking them. Of course, very, very important, because if will not there, that sweetheart picking, you know the benefit per that, you know, because Mrs. Os, Mrs. Right and picking them, na they matter. Sweetheart picking you, then a corner. Pass no more that Mrs. Os, Mrs. Right, get sorry heart for you. he say, okay, well, I give small thing. But otherwise, our halal. And then Nim Conte says, it's the reality. Very good topic. Thank you, Nim. I'm happy some people enjoy it and appreciating it. It is a very, very dry topic, but I think it's very important we talk about it. We need to talk about it. I'll continue talking about it. We're all traveling. Lots of natural disasters are happening. Lots of people-related disasters are happening in the world. Who says when you jump on the next aeroplane for go Salon December holiday, you know, go die? Look at that story, that video that is going around. Apparently, this lady in Peking and win DV. Then what happened next? Where God don't say in time don't reach, he not die. I think he died on the plane, or he became unwell on the plane, or something like that. I tend not to pay too much attention to them stories because I don't know how true they are. So, but this is the reality. This is the problem. Today you go deny, but tomorrow you not go do it. None of us are guaranteed tomorrow. For every time we lay down and sleep, we are practicing how to die. That is what we always have to remember. Because members, the way they sleep, they forget about everything. You're not even aware of your environment. So we are practicing death. When you wake up in the morning, you tell Papa God, thank you, say, oh, Papa God, now we and the one that we don't spare today. But you don't know what's happening to you the next hour, the next 2 hours, the next 12 hours, the next 24 hours, or the next 48 hours, and so on and so forth. So let us put plans in place, especially some of us who have young children, especially some of us who have dependents like our mothers, our fathers, our aunties and uncles. Let us put plan in place. You know, we Africans them, we not like for do them in there. We not like for do them at all. I have a friend at work. He gets an autistic child. Now, the reality is that he cannot get forever be independent. He will never be able to live on his own. He would need support and care throughout his life. Now, he's only 11, soon to be 12. The other day, me and my party, they talk. They tell me, say, we've started thinking about selling our house and moving on. I said, what do you mean? Oh, well, we need to look for a bigger place. Because when our son gets older, we want make it get the, that now that they look at properties the way get like them granny flat. Then call them granny flat, where basically the baba go able get in your privacy, like you go get in bedroom, in your little living room, and probably in your even kitchen, but it's still the part of the house. So that, imagine that baba they turn 12. If they turn 12 at the end of the year, they have already started thinking about that and working towards that. So it's very, very important we think about these things. We face reality. We get for face reality. It's good for enjoy yourself. It's good for go club. It's good for go this event. It's good for wear the best designer. It's your money. If you can afford it, why not? Use it. Flaunt it. Enjoy it. Nobody's stopping you. However, also remember to put things in place and put your house in order. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody. Now, so me mami can say, Farella say, with you, it's reality, good topic. Thank you, Usman. Very educative topic. Thanks, Madam Isatta. Hi, Jalan, my niece from Germany. I'm nearly 50 and my last brother is nearly 40. I've asked my mom this question. Why don't you just share your property now instead waiting until you die? Indeed, that is also a very, very good idea. Because if it might actually prevent a lot of aggro where you die. But I know say when you ask them that question, or some people where you ask them that question, then they will tell you, say, oh, what to make you ask me, so you want to die now? Hey, me picking. Now so you hate me? I'm not be no saying now so you hate me now, me property no more you want. No. It's about being practical and being real. Thank you, Jennifer. Yes, it's an eye-opener. Yes, we're well informed. Yes, we're very educative. Now, one of the things I want to say about life insurance and critical illness, believe it or not, we have a lot of our Sierra Leonean brothers and sisters who are in that business, who are brokers, who I believe they will go to you, sit down and be honest and open, probably more than that other person, Joe Blocks na street, where really don't know you. You go able to ask them question in with local dialects, in Creole. They go able to explain and break down things to you better. I cannot advertise them here, but if you need any advice or contact regarding who to speak to or who to go to, please do not hesitate to message me on Messenger or call me. My number is always available, 077-270-20301, or reach out to DJ Little. He will always forward your query to me, and then I'll provide you with the contact details. Now, I'm not saying go with them, but it will be best if you contact them and let them come to your house or wherever you want to meet with them, talk about it, because it's something that takes time. You need to sit down and talk about it, trash it out and look into it, you know, and make sure they give you enough information and explain as much as possible. Indeed, Auntie Mary, critical illness is so important. I mean, how many people in the last few months we don't hear we say this person be there as you see make the next thing we hear say don't go to hospital. Then hospital and not able to talk or he don't this or he don't that or he get this kind of sickness or he get this type of cancer. We don't hear it boku. We don't hear it boku. We don't hear it so much. But how many of these people actually had critical illness insurance? How many of these people actually had life insurance? So, do ya, my brother and sisters them, let us put our house in order. I not say where I put my poster out, a lot of people will think say putting your house in order has got something, had a different connotation. No, the phrase is about this. When you do these things, you're putting your house in order. So when something goes wrong, your house will be in order. When you have a will, and you, the man, when you are the breadwinner of your entire family, tell to the one in our village, when you have a will and you die, you wife not go there under a lot of pressure. When you die, you get picking them where you don't get before you meet this your other woman, when I love you now. If you do a will and make sure say whatever you want for give them picking and then you put on there, then your wife not go get problem. The same with you, the wife. If you there with man because you just want there with him because you worry about what the public they say, and you get picking, but you know say this picking where you get with him, you know say, or even not with him, this picking where you carry in another relationship, you not feel comfortable say if something do you, that man they go look after her wholly and solely and heartedly and wholeheartedly, then you should be thinking about guardianship. And also, we all where they live on we own. People that they live on their own. You get somebody where know you people their number. You get somebody where if something happen to you, where them call them where you don't appoint say now you next of kin. That person where you don't put on that details there. You give them contact details. You give them people that would die for reach out to. These are little things. So be very wary of them. So on that note, we're soon, next week, we're going to be in October. Now, October is also known as Stoptober. Stoptober is a month where you're kind of encouraged to stop certain things or go off certain things. So one of the things I'm going to do this Stoptober is I'm not going to eat meat for the whole month. I'm planning on getting the flyer out as soon as possible. I'm just waiting on my darling T-Boys production. But if you want to join me, please join me. Let's make it fun, but at the same time, it's quite related to our health and well-being. So please join me. Let's do the Stoptober. So from the 1st of October, we would eat no red meat, beef. We no go eat them. Don't no eat them a plazas. Don't no eat them a soup. Don't know it about nothing for a whole month. Now, I'm telling you, some people go say, oh, well, we already did do that anyway. But for me, it's hard because me man elect plastas, elect beef. So I have signed him up. And then I get me pots, I they cook me pots, na me host. So 1 whole month, na me host. I already warned them. From last week, I don't begin one day. I say, this is what you're going to give up for October. You know, they eat no beef. So yesterday, I cook beef, okra. If you see whether they home in Panama, because you know, say, in the next few days, you don't get for eat beef. So, whatever, DJ Little, which punishment? No punishment. Mamina Pa Avril, now for do the same. No beef for 1 month. And then the other thing, if you're a smoker and you want to stop smoking, again, Stoptober is a month that they try and encourage you to go to your GP or go to any smoking advice center for let them help you for stop for smoke, anti-smoking centers. And then also like stopping to drink alcohol, just anything you want give up. It's just like when the Christian there for Lent, then he say, okay, I'm gonna give up something that means a lot to me, to show my commitment to my God. So it's the same thing. This is about commitment to your health. So give up something and let's have fun about it. Let's talk about it. Let's share ideas. Let's share experiences and then take it from there. And hopefully it will be a win-win-win situation as well. So somebody says they don't eat no creature. Well, Auntie Sue, no, you can have chicken or fish, so no meat. And then Auntie Marie says Muslim women add a caveat: let nobody no cancel, don't help enjoy you hard labor if the war should happen. A word to the wise, indeed. Yeah, Auntie Marie, ask her which punishment, and because I say not for it before, now I make you say na punishment, you know. Hey, you see, I don't get one person who don't sign up already. Farella has signed up. No meat. We're gonna do this. It's gonna be fun, Farella. We're gonna be sharing our menus on Facebook, and also just remember, if you not get anybody where you really like for let you go, they watch them program there, but then they are not Facebook fans, then now you can watch these programs on YouTube. So if you go on YouTube and just type in Diaspora Voices, you know, it will come up. Yes, Auntie Marie, by all means, I'm going to promote it. I'm just waiting for the flyer. The flyer is just a bit slow in coming up. I really wanted it to be ready for today, but hopefully it will be ready by the weekend, and then I'll post it so at least people have a couple of days to think about their diet and change their diet and everything. So that's that. The other thing as well that I'm hopefully gonna sign up for, and if you want to sign up, please let me know by the 1st of October, is homelessness. We're going to go myself, DJ Little, Yehe, my daughter, and a couple of colleagues at work. We're going to sign up for the Glassdoor charity. So Glassdoor charity is one of the biggest charity organizations that in this country, where they support homeless people. So we're going to go do a sleep out. For most of you who've been following me for the last year, you know I did it last year. And it's basically we go and sleep out on the street for one night. This year is going to be on the 4th of October, sorry, a Friday night. Next week, Friday, the 4th of October, we should be there for 9 o'clock, go through registration and everything. And then we pray with card box or sleeping bag and sleep. So this trip, I've managed to convince my 11-year-old daughter, because children have to be 11 and above to sign up. I've managed to convince my own little brother, Abdul Wahab Sisay, DJ Little, Moses of Entertainment. He's coming there. We're going to be doing some live as well, isn't it? We're going to make it fun and share our experience and everything. I will tell you, it changed my life. It's such an humbling experience when you do it. You get an understanding of what people are going through, and it teaches you to be less judgmental. So that is what we're going to do. And of course, the whole of October, the thing which is my bread and butter, it's cancer. So the whole of October is going to be about breast cancer awareness. So be rest assured, I will be putting on programs for breast cancer awareness. We're going to talk about the breast. We're going to talk about what to look out for. And maybe we might even do our grand style Little Lena act that we did last year, which was amazing. We're going to talk about how you can support a friend, a partner, a family member that is going through breast cancer. We're going to talk about the treatments that are available for breast cancer. We're going to talk about coping with breast cancer. We're going to talk about resources that are available and life after breast cancer, because yes, there is life after breast cancer. Breast cancer is one of the most commonest cancers in women, but again, it is one of the most treatable cancers in women. So we will be talking about it. We will be talking about self-care, how to check your breast for lumps and any abnormalities, and what to do, where to go, and how to seek help. So lovely, 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 lovely. I love you all so much, and wish you all the best. I wish you a very lovely weekend, and lots of activities, social events going on in our community this weekend. I have 3 events to attend on Saturday. Can you imagine? 3. I probably they come on Amios and they start first with Kailondo Banya lunch and sale. Then I come on there, then I go to a private event, a graduation that they've invited me. Then I come on there, then I go all the way, I don't call the place, Manor Park, to Afro Arts as well, because my very own mentor and brother, Alan Smith, has invited me, and my sister Nene B as well. They've invited me to that event. So it's an event that I always I've always gone to anyway, and I look out for. So anyway, I hope to see you around. I'm sure I'll bump into you one of those events. But I just wanted to say something, because sometimes people wonder, why am I doing what I'm doing? I'll tell you what happened to me a week or so ago. I went to do some health visiting at one of the Her Majesty's prisons, where I work, we cover that prison. And I was so humbled and I felt so fulfilled when, as I was handing them my phone and all my other gadgets that I'm not allowed to go into the prison with, the guy said to me, "Oh, are you not that lady who is on Diaspora Voices?" I'm like, I was with my consultant. I was like, ooh. I pretended first that I didn't hear him, and he's like, You're that Isatta, isn't it? You're the one who talks about health. And I'm like, yeah. And I was so shy and embarrassed. And then he said, "Oh, well done, good job. I always listen to you." I'm like, okay, thank you. And then I went into the inpatient unit of the prison. Now, inside the prison, they've got a ward. So that's why I went in there. It's to go and check. We go in there, we support the nurses in there, and from a specialist point of view. So then I went in there. There was a Sierra Leonean lady in there. And then she actually ran to me and said, "Oh, I know you. I thought I recognized you." And I said, And she said, "Oh, you're Sisay, isn't it? Your first name?" I said, "Isatta." "Yes, you're that lady on Diaspora Voices. You're the one who talks about health and promotes welfare and everything." I was like, "Yeah." And then my consultant's like, "Oh my God, Isatta, you're so well known." I'm like, I am ever so grateful. And I will always continue to be humble. And I thank all of you. What I'm doing is just driven by humanity. I'm not looking for instant gratification. I'm not looking for recognition. It's just something I feel my Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has kind of prompted me to do and say, like in the Bible, they say, "Go henceforth and deliver." So this is what I'm doing. That's all I have in my head. With all my busy schedule, my family life, my work and everything, I still enjoy finding time to come and do this because of the likes of you, because of people like you, people who feel you constantly you bump into me at events, you call me, you message me, and you say, oh, we're finding this so good, it's positive, we appreciate it, this is what we need in our community. So I'm ever so grateful. So I thank you so much, and God bless you. Looking teeth, you just wanted us here. We love you, and until I see you again next week, have a lovely weekend.
Morning and I give you the praise. The thing where you do for me, they make me so amazed. You make me the woman I never dreamt to be. You have broken all the barriers, even though they think it's me. I have grown to be stronger, I have grown to be me. I have grown to be grateful, I have grown to be free. I have grown to be stronger, I have found the peace in me. I'm broken all the barriers, even though they think it's me. Nah, 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 Papa, God bless me, yeah. I tell God thank you for whose I don't reach today. No shoes but I go school and I always keep the faith. You can overcome, make it possible if you believe in it. You can grow to be stronger, you can grow to be wise. You can grow to be bold, you can grow to higher heights. You can grow to be stronger, you can find the peace within you. You can overcome the impossible if you believe in it. Nah, yeah, yeah. Papa, God bless me, yeah. Roberto Elena, I dey pile no shoes. Mama be the trapper when I come, no food. I dey talk to my kids, tell I know the shame, old school. Look me to the Uda who say I no cool. For pen bless, you sweet up party man, no lose. The faith make a waka nowadays, I dey cruise. I dey cruise. The faith make a waka nowadays, I dey cruise. You can grow to be stronger, you can find the peace within you. You can overcome the impossible if you believe in it. Nah, yeah, Papa, God bless me, yeah. Papa, God bless me, yeah.
every color.
The same boy. Yeah. Tell you neighbor, tell them say you there. Tell them say you there. Tell you neighbor, tell them say you there. Tell them say you there. Yeah. We dey send them go down. 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 Tell them say you there. Tell them say you there. Tell you neighbor, tell them say you there. Tell them say you there. We dey send them go down. Small, send them go down. Yeah, we dey send them go down. Small, we dey send them go down. Enjoyment there. Look, mommy Talabi and Pape Charlie. Hey, every oju, see bondu oju, any man oju. Till they are for you. Man they ask if na bad at you. No too bad at all. Tell them say you there. Tell you neighbor, tell them say you there. Tell you neighbor, tell them say you there. Tell them say you there. Yeah, we dey send them go down. Tell them, we dey send them go down. Yeah, we dey send them go down. Send them, we dey send them go down.
And the sound sensation come from the nation.
Man and the papilo do the dancing and they go down low. All man don't chatty. Baby, get a brokey, yeah. I look in there, stop the again. Give me stout day. Music set there. They go make you enjoy the music, tell you.
The Lonsdale Union UK, Look, proudly presents Just Dance. Look, Me, Are, Look, You, Volume 2. Saturday, 26th of October 2019 at JK Banquet Hall, Forest Hill, London, SE23 2NE. Doors open 8 PM. Fee £25 flat. Music by DJ Little & Co. Come and support Look for the betterment of the Lunsar community in the area of education, health, art and culture. For info, call 0783 765 622.
Money with the one, I know them say. Me know they jump for me, you know where. Papa just say, anytime I catch up, now holiday. Now holiday. So now forgive me the pay. I want enjoy me holiday. Alright, them Slim G, I leave you melody. I saw we hustling, body do no man on me. For the same money thing, but could them a funny me. All kind of one name, I saw them a calling me. So, the big up all the hustlers in the streets, where they find it difficult for getting for easier. It not easier. Some not even get side for sleep. I hear what they say, fry you baba day. They said they go sabi usai the money day. Yeah, me not go the wrong way. I just believe say me I must sabi day. And them they are still there, also for the paper. No the joke, no the bluff of the paper. I say we they are still there, also for the money. Money make me draw the man turn. We wake up on the tracks, sleep my day. How we dey hustle money paper every day. Money rules the world, I saw them say. Me know they joke for me, oh no way. Papa just say, anytime I catch up now holiday, now holiday. So now forgive me the pay. I want enjoy the holiday, the holiday.
Awa ka soto gbenge tege. Awa ka gbab kalo wilo mi gbeng to wa take lenge. Eya ka uska de kelenge. Awa ka tori ne ke gbenge. Awa maye ma wone mi mo ke de mi to wa take lenge.